Hello, Bs, Gs, and NBs. Welcome back to the EMEA Masters finals here in Montpellier, Occitanie. And quick shot joined once again by Jamada and Gulborg. Going into game 2, Movistar Riders have once again selected red side. I think the pressure is on them. I think let's humanize this for a minute. Playing into this crowd, playing into the fandom, playing into the boos, I think had an impact on their game. Let's forget about the fact that even had to deal with Yasuo. Now I think Gulborg, we get to really see what their metal is. How do they adapt? How do they adjust? And they know the enemy they're facing.
I really hope so, because the enemy is not just the stage,
yes.
It's the crowd as well. And when no one in the crowd will support you, well, if you're looking support, look no further than your teammates. You've just been out with them. It's about reconnecting on what made you come so far in the EMEA Masters. Longest Movistar Riders has ever been as well. And really just find the tools that allows you the correct skirmishing in-game as well. They felt a bit short-ranged. It felt like they missed the mark a bit on their engages as well. And I think specifically Alvaro had a hard time on the Rakan.
Yeah, you know, I think obviously there's a lot to take from the game. I think right now they just have to reset. Yeah. You know, keep the head screwed on, just pretend that game didn't happen. Look at this as if this is game 1, but you're just in a bye, effectively.
I want to say, I do think that you remember the game, but what I wanted to do for them is I wanted to fuel their anger. I want them to lean into the dark side, come back in and try to turn this arena into a library. Jamada, I'm asking an unenviable, impossible question. How can they do it? In my mind, I think you let Nila through, maybe ban Yasuo, because I think you know how Nila plays. Why are you shaking your head?
I mean, calm down, because they ban it because they're not really sure how it plays either.
Yes.
It's a lot of tools on the side of Karmine Corp that you have to be wary of. And when there's too many tools, all you can do is rely on yourself and what makes you good as a team.
I think the likelihood is they've seen how Nila works. They've probably at least prepped something that they feel comfortable dealing with it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Considering they banned it in the first 3.
If they didn't, if Nila and Yasuo are 2 of the 5 banned towards Kalista,
now,
wild.
The way around it for me still is just go for full bot lane priority, right? In the first 3, you can circumvent that issue and then you just target ban bot. As long as Karmine Corp don't adapt and pick their first 3 as well from the bot side.
Did. The thing is, they did, you know, in the first, at least they got 4 AD carry bans out of the way. They banned 3 themselves. Karmine Corp had the Sire ban as well.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if it was already preemptively banned for Yasuo to come through with Sire already being out of the way too. But I mean, they might be digging deep, and yeah, it's going to be difficult to find the response in terms of what Karmine Corp picked. But I think longer range, seeing Frescovi as well on the Silas, not usually what we saw him have success with, but they banned him out nicely. I think Karmine Corp targeted his 2 best champions, got the Ahri out of the way, took away the Azir. It was a bit hard for him to play the game.
Quick reminder, game 1, it was Poppy, Zaya, LeBlanc. On the side of Karmine Corp, it was Nila, Talia, and Maokai. So far, we're 3 for 3. Are there any pivots? 4 for 4. Come on, salty run back. Give me the same comp, so let's just play better. I don't think it's going to happen. GB, let's see if there's any pivots. So far, exactly the same from KCE.
I mean, I still think you can see the Maokai ban come through if not substituted for Red. No, it's actually going to be the Senna.
Okay.
And now both Nila and Senna is out of the way. So those kind of bot lanes that we've seen both Targamos and Kalista perform with has been taken away. You can also do a trade-off now, so they prioritize the Red, but now you have the Maokai available for yourself.
Now does Isma want the Maokai? Does he want the Sejuani? Well, there you go. It's
okay,
Sejuani
there you have it, yeah.
So they don't care about the Maokai at all. They feel like Senna is the thing that's gluing these picks together. And it seems like for now that may be the answer.
Very similar. Jamada, what does this make you think is going to happen in the bottom lane? As we've seen the same 4 picks coming in, and in game number 1 it was Cassante locked in here for Karmine Corp, but that's because they had that ace up their sleeve at the Yasuo center bottom lane. They don't have the center this time around.
No reason to change, I think, on the Karmine Corp side right now. You know it's going to neutralize the Renekton enough. It's more about what Movistar are going to do on this 3, whether they go towards something for the mid lane to sync up again with the Sejuani, or whether or not they want that bottom lane priority now so they can look to start removing away this champion.
You're right. I think that's the only question right now. For Scurry was just banned out in the second rotation. Still loads of AD carries available. You know you will miss out on the Seri, but is it worth it to sack your mid laner Void in the exchange?
I mean, listen.
And Movistar Riders, they're completely happy with it.
1, 2, 3 has been exactly the same. So now the pivot has to come in. It was Kalista as well as, I can't remember the final band. Thank you, Kai'Sa. For on the side of Movistar Riders, it was Ahri Tristana for KC. So we're almost at the salty, run back. It's just going to be this bottom lane, the support that's going to look different for now. I mean, Jamada, I'm quite shocked by how this is playing. to actually ban Yasuo, that is a surprise.
I mean, you know, you're already seen the Senna taken away, you've seen the Neela taken away. Take away the Yasuo as well, make sure that no one of these fancy picks comes through and it's going to be a normal AD carry match.
Exactly, they just want Kalista Targamas on Sonic as standard.
Why can't you just be normal? That's what they're screaming in their headset. That's what they want.
So they're going to remove away the Alistar, KC. So I imagine Frescawi, does he really want the Silence again? Because he didn't necessarily look the best on it. And I feel like you're probably going to be happier leaning on a mage still, nonetheless.
I mean, listen, that Silas is his second most played all-time ever. 20 games, 66% win ratio. Yes, he's only played it once prior to today, this summer. But it is one that he's got a lot of experience in. He's near 300 games. So it is locked in, and we're going to see what Alvaro runs in that last pick. I might want to see something different to Rakan personally, but let's find out what Kalista and Targamas are running bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, there's two options in my head here. You either go for the Aphelios for him or you go for the Kai'Sa. Those are the two that we've often seen him on as well. Oh. It's going to be the Kog'Maw instead. They might just blind pick the Braum. And there you have it.
Gentlemen, how many games of Kog'Maw has Kalista ever played?
I'm just going to say none. I bet it's enough
first time. 2 games.
Okay,
two games.
But when?
Both of them were victories, and he has not played it a single time this EMEA Masters summer. So this is the first of the tournament. Targamas locking in that Braum. He's played it once before, also victory.
But now here's the thing, you'd want to go and enchant into Braum just because you don't really want to pick a melee champ, but also you want as much engage as possible. You've already got Renekton, Sejuani, Silas, so it feels like the hands are really behind their
I want to live in the world. I want to live in the world where KC have been screaming G2, who will be playing here on Sunday. And Summer and Mickey, this is the duo that has taken over the LEC Summer players. We're seeing it now in the EMEA finals. GB, zoom out, how did these comps win?
Well, before we get to that, just this Braum in general has really shut down Alvaro. His most played champions are just engagers. It's a facilitation between Isma and Alvaro when they're getting the bot lane ahead, because they have the setup for it. There is not a lot of setup for your bot lane for a gank here. Yes, the Lulu thrives into the Braum, but not in terms of actually getting kills.
Yeah, that's the big problem, right? It's about the lane priority. It's about actually getting out onto the map if you're not trying to strip away the plates. So this is a big problem. I feel like the mid-game fights might be okay. They've got enough setup between the mid-jungle. But realistically, Kog'Maw after 2 items is just going to be a terror.
Jamada, Movistar Riders, yes or no, have won through Super in the bottom lane?
Yes.
Coming into game 1, there was an answer from KC into Super and Alvaro in the bottom lane. Yes or no?
Yes.
Coming into game 2, the Braum, GB, is it an answer into Super and Alvaro in the bottom lane?
It looks like it.
Looks like it. Have KC figured out the LVP representative? The fans here in the stadium absolutely feel that way. And it'll be up to Super, Alvaro, and the rest of the Movistar Riders to turn this series around. Game 1 was a shellacking, a stomping. Will it happen again? Let's hit Summoner's Rift to find out.
There's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number 1 stunning, don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Both sides have started off defensive. 5 players split across the respective rifts. We had no real shenanigans in game number 1. Let's see what's going to happen on early here in game number 2. I think Esma had a pretty effective gank to start. Fortunately for him, he didn't generate the kills, but Kalista and Targamas again were able to escape. Just as I cast a curse, the shenanigans. Kalista starting to run for his life. The turnaround for him. Monster Flash! Seiken gets first blood. Super does get a reply. Seiken's now flashless. Caught up by the flail. The piercing strike from Synchro may have saved his life. Zoom out and take stock. Flash is blown, as well as Ignite for Alvaro, for Seiken. And of course, the Ghost used by Kalista.
Yep, bot lane vulnerable. Alvaro can be very easily picked off. He's a Lulu, very squishy. But also, you have to remember Seiken now dealing with Sejuani Silas with no flash. Even on Azir, that's a very scary thing to look at. Even pre-6 Alvaro, what's he looking for? A ward? Is he looking to get a bit of poke on Seiken? It looks like it's that.
Yeah, it's a response to what happened in the top side. They thought they were going for a larger and wait for the people who boarded their own red buff. So he thought he could walk in, but they were actually anticipating it. But I think Karmine Corp as well overestimated how much they could actually do in this skirmish, because they are able to trade it back on the side of Movistar Riders.
And of course, when you do look at those kill distributions, Seiken in the mid lane picking it up, but he is flashless into a Sedge Silas combination. And of course for Super, he's got that flash and that kill under his belt. Hasn't necessarily generated the advantage yet, but can it be escalated or taken action on?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be curious to see bot lane action already coming through. Level 2 hit for
Andre,
Super.
flash forward, one more right click. Kalist forced a flash for his life. Super committed it. But can they take over this lane now? Level advantage, CS advantage. Kalist is low, he's got potions to work with, and Syncroft is wending in the wings.
There's a big difference. Isma's pathing is so different. It's full top side. He's not here to match Syncroft this time.
Oh, Movistar, have they mucked this up? Well, the ward is good though. Syncroft
so
is
big.
spotted. And keep in mind this Lulu. Turn him into a munchkin. That can be so impactful. Kalist too low to get involved. He needs the CS as well. 2 waves crashing under the tower. Isma on the way.
Yeah, I think very fortunate. Movistar, they stacked up such a big wave because they've got that range advantage. But now they've actually traded places.
Oh, the boar and the horse. Look at my horse. It's amazing. Super's caught down. What is happening? Brom sets it up with the Winter's Bite. The crash down comes forward. 2 kills to KC.
And once again, is disaster for the Movistar Riders bot lane. Syncroft as well is just there before Isma. But I don't know what happened in that 2v2. Super and Alvari, they should be winning. One of them gets stunned up and suddenly it all just collapses.
If we get a replay of the pathing, I need to see how Isma and Syncroft traded places.
He must have missed.
They must have just slipped past each other, ships in the night.
Oh my word. 3-1. A kill to Kalist, another.
Yeah,
look at this.
I think he W's here earlier, right before Isma comes around.
Oh my
so he
God.
just misses it. You only saw the Bulbasaur on the side of it, but I'm not even sure if he saw that.
can't from his
Alvaro
PvP.
getting hit by this, Super dashing forward with your jungler coming down as well. Even if you got the gank through, you're throwing away the entire setup in this exchange. And Karmine Corp running away with the bot lane once again is disaster. We've already said it. This is where we find the win conditions.
Look at the reaction. Super making a surprising misstep. Saken's been flashless. This bird is the target. Beautiful by Isma, but Kalist is nearby. Just go and get the kill. The immediate reply from Syncroft. The Pokeball gets another. And all of a sudden, Marky is running for his life. Syncroft doesn't have the backup just yet. More kills to KC.
Why is Kalist mid? Why is Kalist mid? They're not expecting it as well coming through from it. He killed bot lane. He got the push. He got a favorable reset. They backed up mid lane knowing it would be under attack. And Saken, after getting out or respawning, just teleported down to pick up the entire wave that Super has just picked in. That was an amazing sequence of play coming out from Karmine Corp.
Beautifully set up. I'm going to ask you to think about how did they know. If you are watching at home, we are aware that the heads-up display, the scoreboard, is not properly updating or reflecting the in-game kills. It is 4-2. The team is aware of it. We'll give you any updates as we can. It is 4 kills to 2. It's a 700 gold advantage in favor of Karmine Corp and Jamada. Do you have an answer to that question? Why was Kalist mid?
So I don't necessarily have a why, but what I will tell you is Movistar did the exact same thing to Matchco in the semi-finals. So this could have just been a very nice read. They've got such a big window for Kalist to just move here. And even if he misses the wave, I mean, he picks up a kill, he's got double buffs, and it could have been a lot worse for Movistar, all things considered.
But that's the thing, he's not missing a wave. He's picking up the mid lane. Super's pushing in bot side. Teleport comes through, and they take no losses outside of Saken's life.
Look at this. Reactions from the coach and support staff. They know why Kalist was mid, and they're very happy with the results. As soon as we jump out of this, okay, Dragon have been started. Jamada, when we were in that replay, it was the Movistar Riders that started off the Dragon. They ultimately were pushed away. You can see the ward just been chucked in the Dragon pit, so KC stepping forward. And of the 4 kills, Kalist is 2-0-2 on the Cogmore. Bearing in mind his Yasuo was banned. Kalist, so KC banned. Zeri taken away from him, and this is so much problems. Super currently falling further and further behind.
Catastrophe for bottom lane.
Oh, that's panic buttons glowing right now.
Yeah, panic buttons have to go right now for Movistar. And when you think about it, comp to comp, you've only really got one big form of engage over the top, and that's Isma once he hits level 6. But there's a Braum to block that. Dragon's up now.
I mean, I think they have to back out. I think Saken just around the corner. Braum as well after. They have no engage outside of Isma, or just full sending Franskau in there, and you can't do that.
No, you can't.
It's
Look
just
at Super. I mean, Super again has been dancing on the edge of safety with the Zeri, using that wall hop every time it's available. Level 4, Isma on the set 20 can't even look for that long range, initiation. Now, with the Dragon secured, it is only a small gold lead, but it is very reminiscent of Game 1. With the skirmishes, the small decisions, it feels like Karmine Corp have already jumped off to an early lead. Isma's in trouble. Gonna get caught out. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Shattering strike sets up the stun. The battle ball gets bopped, booped, and obliterated. Seiken gets another. Hops over the wall. Emperor's Divide is available to him, but the Winter's Bite will not find a target. 5 kills secured for Karmine Corp.
They thought a reset was coming through some Synchro, so they saw a window available to them where they could go for some counter jungling, but just quickly sending Takamas up. The vision control is not in favor of Movistar's either. So they just get caught with their pants down, and now Super under the bot lane turret just hit 6. He might be able to save his life, but completely forfeit the palm.
I mean, Super needs to find all of the Dragon Balls, hope to go Super Saiyan, and pray he has the power of Beast Mode Gohan, because right now, it's starting to look like a bunch of Krillins and Yamchas. He's squashed across the lanes. He's still a lead, and while we're seeing this trade or potential dive at the bottom lane, the top laners, what did you say, Chief?
They assist, yeah, and nice reminder right there as well. Capo is quite low, Synchro is coming up as well. I don't think we're fancying a dive.
It's just an ult trade.
There, right?
It's just an ult trade. It's like, hey guys, you know what? We can fight each other.
Not again. Not again.
Oh.
Not
He's in the bush just waiting.
Oh, Takamas! Unbreakable is up! Sparks over the wall! The Super escape, but my word, you are dancing on the edge of safety.
Can I just
friends.
play my mantle as CEO of ADC Hate for a moment?
for it, go.
Why is Zeri still... all right, I'm going to continue. It's fine, but Super does a great job. Goes over, very, very clean, and very difficult to lock that champion down easily.
Sorry, let's just clarify. Does a great job to escape from the situation he put himself in.
Yes, exactly.
On the other side of the map, Riftel has been started up because of that little exchange. Both Kalist and Takamas is going to be a bit late on the play. You can see Takamas still making his way up in River.
Alvaro doing a good job there with that polymorph. Syncrob is interrupted, is stunned up. The Emperor's Divide by some time. Well, here comes Targamas. Cabo's over the wall. No wall out available. Mark is going low. Dominus was used. And the Croc gets bopped. Seiken with another. Targamas buying time. He's popped the Watch Gone Golden, and the Sand Soldiers will just about do the work. It's a bloodbath in the mid lane. But it's Seiken. It's Karmine Corp. It's the French representatives taking over.
They still come out on top again. And they've got the Herald as well if they really want to off the back of it. I think the death timers will be long enough, and like you mentioned, Goldberg, it's just so difficult to move forward into this KC lineup.
I have to say that I am impressed watching KC at the moment, but I am disappointed in what I've seen from Movistar. This is not the team that I came to expect from Knockouts. This is not the early game I came to expect, and all of these skirmishes just feel like they are so heavily KC favored.
I just feel they're playing so away from the strengths that we've seen. Like you're saying, they're not really playing around the bot lane. This is more about moving around the map and trying to find skirmishes with the numbers advantage. That's in their characteristic, sure, but it's normally around the bottom lane. And they've just not been able to utilize the strengths of their champions. And Karmine Corp on an execution level are just beating them 1-for-1.
I would have loved to see how much damage Seiken does in this team fight, because he's just untouched in this chokehold. Even when Movistar walks up, got the ultimate available to separate them from each other. And Frisco does get one, but not more, and goes down after that exchange.
Well, look, I can tell you what the total damage is across the entire game. Unfortunately, it's actually not working at the moment. Maybe right to the head. I should have checked that first. I should have checked that first. But Isma, we'll find out Syncrob. At least WN, there's not going to be a whole lot. No Glacial Prison available to him. Keep your eye on this River. Both teams starting to group up.
Oh, sorry.
Goes forward, trying to find this Pugmore. It's a fight on two fronts. Galista dodging everything. But can the passive blow him up? Back in the river. Capo is looking for all out. The ball lane is trained 1-for-1. But Seiken gets another. And it's Karmine Corp finding another objective.
Kalist Macing was so sick, but he doesn't quite get it.
Super missed so many autos, bro. He has to flash forward to hit.
Can you see, gentlemen, ladies, everybody else around the world, can you see why so many people watching EMEA Masters, so many LEC pros are talking about Kalist? He is stepping up. Let's not disregard the impact Super has had this event, but today, so far, in the first 2 games, Kalist is in charge.
He's definitely exciting to watch. I think the one that's popping off the most in this game, though, is right in the middle of the screen. It's Seiken 6-1 on the Asir. He's been absolutely untouched. And just looking at the composition of Movistar Riders, I see no way out of Frisgovi finding an insane flank within the Asir ultimate where they actually are able to attack him.
How many titles has Seiken won in EMEA Masters?
It's 3 so far, sir.
This is his 4th attempt, his 4th finals, and right now it's looking like his 4th victory.
You say attempt, but he don't fail, Trevor. If he's at EMEA Master, he succeeds.
I love that. This was his 4th success is the current expectations. Once again, I will say though, neither of these teams really like heavily prioritizing the Dragon. First one was secured a little bit unceremoniously. Movistar Riders have got a minor numbers advantage, but they don't want to pick this fight. They simply can't. With itemization difference, Super does have himself that static shift completed. And look at the north of the river. Seiken with the Azir ultimate. Cabo started it earlier. Marking is going to arrive into the fray later this one, and all of a sudden it's one, it's two, it's three, it's all the Karmine all day. Allez, blue! The LFL is putting on a show, and Super's doing what he can, but it's Braum. It's one of the answers. He stepped forward, he finally gets it. He gets a second.
Oh, Super!
Super is powering up. He simply cannot do more though, as he almost gets the third. How close that could have been. It's the Karmine Corp on top.
It was a valuable attempt for Super there. He almost found the Seri moment. Really good movement as well, at least in response to the play we saw earlier from Kalist. But initially that team fight was so beautifully orchestrated and fought out by Karmine Corp.
It's just Karmine Corp pulling the trigger first again. Plain and simple. They're so quick to it.
Oh, it's the old one here. All right, let's have a look at the movement. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. 3 Qs missed. 4, 5. And does hit the next one, but there's spacing here. And then the last one, you know, if I'm going down, you're going down with me.
Big area.
Oh, he's enjoying it.
I tell you what, the Michelin sponsor on that one running that down is going to love that.
But look at the team fight, because it looks like Kalist is out of position in a bit where he gets sandwiched because they have to turn on Isma. Look at the turnaround from Tarkamas, and they're all there. They're just moving the places, or rather their pawns around, if that's what we want to call it, in terms of how the team fight is playing out.
It's just so well orchestrated by Karmine Corp. They just acknowledge where their strong point is in this fight and where the weak point is, and they immediately exploit Movistar. And sure, Super pulls off some magic moves here.
Yeah.
Oh, if he doesn't get stunned here, right? There's
So,
a moment where
yes.
you think,
Yes.
it might turn into more, but
If he doesn't get stunned, connects the Q and the right click onto Kalist, he gets, unfortunately he gets insta-geared by the Cog passive. But let's zoom out very quickly. What is your professional opinion on Leandra's at the death cap? 15 minutes here from Seiken?
that's when you're super far ahead and don't really have to care about any sort of resistances and just want to absolutely pound your enemy.
He wants damage, and he's going to have it very, very soon, no doubt, as...
Sidestep, sidestep, sidestep!
He's
He
still
does get taken down, but even in that moment, getting away from the prison, Targamas and Kappa, they're running onto Super. Why are you there? I am very sorry to be this direct, but that is mistake after mistake that we need to see cleaned up. Super punished once more.
Just stepping a little bit too far forward after the pick. They feel like they've got the territory, not expecting Gamo Shard to collapse in from the top side. The cost of the play, I suppose, for KC will also be this top side tower.
4,000 gold lead, Jamada, in favor of KC.
It's a big one. And again, we're talking about the compositional differences here. For Karmine Corp, 2 hyper-scaling carries, mid and bot, with very limited forms of engage that are going to rely very heavily on pincer movements and teleports and flanks.
Let's try and keep our eyes on Seiken. That Rabadon task come through. That's 2 items at 15 minutes. It's already 2 Drakes. Just got the other one 4 minutes onto the next one. But so far, not a lot of outer turrets has been taken. It's a lot of skirmishes, but so far it's just a turret each on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're just waiting, realistically, for the Herald, I believe. Once that's up. Actually, no, it says the timer's up for the Baron. So
Yeah,
I guess the
exactly.
Herald is a no-go. Either way, these guys, they'll sit here, they'll try and scale up. It's realistically Movistar that need to try and find some core items to try and find a bit of an avenue back into this game, because right now Seiken is the mountain to climb.
So let's zoom out very briefly because I want to live in the glasses half full zone. Super has found some
my
fancy
God.
footwork.
No, there's no glass.
Yep, okay.
That glass is empty. He spilled it, he dropped it, it shattered on the floor, and it's not getting repaired, buddy.
That was insane damage. Oh man, up to one of the frontline members. Karmine Corp are starting to take absolute control of this game. And the only answer, kill Seiken quick and hope you have enough left in the tank to take out Kalist and Cabo and Syncroft. Sending one tower to one for now, and look at KC grouping up top. For Movistar Jamada, I'm going to hear what you're saying. They need a buy time, they need to stall, they need to farm up those items. But my word, you cannot take a couple of orders from those Sand Soldiers because it'll just finish everyone.
Yeah, it's a delicate line they have to balance right now, because not only do they need items, they don't really have the time to get to those items right now. You can see what Seiken was doing to Cabo. He's going to do the same thing to all of the frontline, well, the other frontline member in ISMA. I tell you what, it's going to look a lot worse on the other health bars of the Squishier members. So.
Hey, wild growth, that's where it's at. That's your save us, GB, I believe, right?
Well,
the front line, and what? No, obviously not. I'm saying this sarcastically.
Well, have a look at this one, then. We might be able to find a pick here. Cabo.
Okay, where's the prison?
He's quite durable, though.
But we need to connect it. The flail comes out. The stun lands.
Oh, no.
Mark is in trouble. Cabo goes all out and gets away from 4 members of the Riders. He don't give a damn. But Movistar got the tower.
That could honestly have been a lot worse if one of them got knocked on the tower, then after Marky. That would have been disaster, but with so many members showing on the bot side, you're just taking care of the Rift Herald, and the map is so open now for Karmine Corp. Both side lanes have a long lane. You can push it in. We see the priority that Seiken is able to get. Every time that he will push in a lane, he will just swap that pressure to mid lane now instead, and they will dissect it with the Rift Herald now being picked up by Synchron.
Exactly, it's just more map control, right? At the end of the day. If they can't get this mid lane tower just through sheer pressure and passiveness alone, the Herald do the job for them, and they'll probably wait to use it until the next dragon, or if we see Syncroft kind of sync up with Targamas here, they could just drop it and get the tower for free. Either or.
There's just no wards. Everything's cleared up. Look at the minimap. Blue ping ward, blue ping ward, blue ping ward, blue ping ward. No vision right now for Movistar. The only there is very defensive. You can see it just by the entrance to Raptors and around that red buff. Now, Seiken still bot side. He does have that teleport, but mid lane is so low that the Rift Herald will just crack it open.
It does. With that, 5,000 gold in the lead before 20 minutes. Movistar in playoffs at an average of 3,000
Hold up, Trevor, Marky's behind.
The re-engage, Marky's found Cabo, but Callista's untouched. Seiken's not there, but they haven't got the damage, they haven't got the time. The Unbreakable's done so much. Here comes Seiken, Sand Soldier's up. Wait for the scoop, the dupe. It won't happen. Movistar, they had a moment. They made GB the hope for a second, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, but you can see the blinking health bars. They can still push in the lanes. Bot lane was pushed in as well. Drake up in 30 seconds. It's still a win for Karmine Corp, despite the nice flank from Marky where they're not able to pick anything up.
It's just so difficult to move forward, because if you overstep, you try to walk back, you've got Brawn passive on you, you could potentially get re-engaged on and scooped back in. The options for Movistar are so limited, and they have to be so precise when they actually pick them up.
I think the elegance of this Cogmore Braum, you're seeing it in action as the game's played out. You know, I made a bit of a dramatic explanation into how the Yasuo Senna was an answer to Super and Alvaro. Game into game 2, the Cog and the Braum, we're seeing it time and time again, how it has helped. I mean, hell, even the Cogmore passive helped. More importantly for me is, I think Karmine Corp seem to have kind of downloaded or really comprehended, really understood how to bring Super and the rest of the Riders to what they want to do and beat them, because it's their game plan, it's on their terms.
I also just feel like Movistar as well, they're not playing into their strengths, but for now, they're playing into the mid lane.
Wild Growth has been used, the target's Caliste, he flashes over the wall, no one's chased yet, the Magnet Storm comes down on Synchron! The Movistar Riders are flanked, surrounded, and they might be shut down. Friscawi steals the Empress Divine, he buys some time, but he actually scoops him towards his own team. He scooped Karmine Corp closer to his Spanish brethren. 2 of them are down and they are running for their lives. Seiken, Targamas, Cabo, they're chasing. Baron's up as well. Do they hunt? Do they get more kills? Do they just go for the Baron? All the options are available. Super though, he's gonna get a little bit of damage back. Somewhat split, Sand Soldiers are helping out. Follow Seiken, flash available. Sand Soldiers conquering, shifting sands.
Seiken.
Simply disgusting. He does not miss. He does not attempt. Seiken does not lose EMEA Masters.
And despite the best effort from Movistar Riders, because it really was efforts, they tried to flash in on Caliste, they could not get him, he flashes over the wall, and that's pretty much every single tool lost. As soon as Seiken joins the fight, it's just over, and you can see it flashing forward, trying to lock him down. Ultimate block by Targamas, and once Caliste is over that wall, no one is following him.
It's re-engagement, Synchron holding everyone in place as well. Seiken, he doesn't quite find the angle for a big scoop, but the damage he's putting out is just absurd. Cabo as well does a great job, doesn't get displaced, and is able to help lock down the second till into the chase.
And listen, obviously, I personally have been quite harsh here on the Movistar Riders, but spare a thought. Put yourselves in their shoes. They're young, 20, 21, 22-year-old players, facing off a literal army of thousands of French KC fans. And KC have got answers to what the Riders want to do. This man, the unkillable Demon Baguette of the EMEA Masters, And he is leaving his team. That was, I'm so
That
sorry.
one could have been worse.
I'm going to get a disciplinary hearing for that one. That was so bad.
Anyways.
You may.
Baron up.
Baron is up. We'll give Trevor his moments. They'll siege on this tier 2 on the bottom side because they know they've got the time to. Movistar, I don't think they've got time for anything right now. There's the first tier 2. Now they can press on the base how they feel.
Not really synced wave, but waves are coming in from that mid lane. They're just going to continue it. Capuchar's going to pick it up, and the bot siege is going to continue.
Bot siege will continue. We go disengage as well.
Visage been thrown out by Targamas. Marky's so low, flashless as well. We're going to continue to push into the base. Inhibitor is just taken. Reminder, this team is down 9,000 gold. They're dealing with Baron empowered minis. Just look at the itemization differences.
Movistar.
This is a bold move, Cotton. Don't know if it'll work out.
Yeah, TP in the mid lane, but I mean, you're just picking up a wave that was going to get pushed in anyway, so Movistar Riders, once again, just a little lost on the map, but can you blame them? What are they supposed to do against this? It feels like the game's already lost, and they need a massive mistake from Karmine to really come back into it.
I feel like that posturing there as well, the pings onto the ward, also the teleport from Marky onto the mid lane. I think they knew they had to just try and throw the kitchen sink at Karmine Corp as they were leaving the base, but they just didn't have the window for it.
So you have to now think a little bit about this on what feels like an 0-2 start. LVP will have one more potential attempt to drag this series out. Karmine Corp have had answers 2 games in a row to this bottom lane approach, and right now, with the fact that not only did the bottom lane do well, but second on his Azir, 11-1-1, he's got a 700 gold bounty. 3 items completed. He had what? Deathcap and Landry's at 15 minutes?
Yeah.
It's insanity. 3 dragons under their belt as well, so now Karmine Corp just going to look to push into this one. Here comes Synchro from the side. Got that Magnet Storm available. Engage goes forward. 3 members of the Riders are caught up, and Marky is stuck in and amongst the mess. 2 of them down already. Super gets tagged up. Well, Pyro Arcane Barrage, there's simply nothing they can do. Who's sidestepping what he can, but over the wall, here comes Karmine. They're looking for more. The Empress Divide still available too.
Super's still alive, but he doesn't have the range to do anything. You're against the Cogmore with a W. You have Seiken on the Azir, still wreaking havoc despite being miles away from you. There is nothing Movistar Riders can do. Karmine Corp is absolutely wrapping the floor with them.
On the ropes, 2 Nexus towers between Karmine Corp and a game 3 at 2-0. There goes Super.
Another Emperor's Divide to set it up for a double kill for Kalist. Listen to this crowd.
Oh, can he get a Penta?
Suit de France. Another secured. Kalist stepped forward.
They're trying.
Trying to give it to
Get
him.
him
A
that
double
Penta.
knockback. Got himself the Quadra. Looking for Friscoe underneath the tower. One more hit's all that's needed.
Oh,
Karmine Corp go 2-0. Your summer finals.
Movistar have no legs to stand on right now. They have simply been figured out, I feel. They have to try and find a solution. They've got about 15, 16, 17 minutes to do it before they're back on the stage. And they have to try and predict what Karmine Corp are going to throw at them for a game 3.
Let's talk about that draft. Neela banned, Senna banned, Yasuo banned, Kalista banned, and they still have a respawn. Every single ban that they've thrown against them did not stick.
Silas has not had the impact I think Movistar Riders wanted to have, despite the ultimates. I think the answers, as you mentioned, from Karmine have had a significant impact. More importantly for me, Jamada, how many times did you say it? The Riders are not necessarily playing to their strengths. Now, let's give credit to Karmine, because I think Karmine are dragging him around. We screamed at the top lanes, why is Kalist mid? Obviously they have a game plan. They are reacting. They are forcing Movistar to play their game. So in my mind, I think Movistar have to find a way to arrest some form of control to get the game placed on their tempo.
I just feel like Alvaro needs to be on a facilitator that can properly link up or enable the other members in proper nature of Movistar. He spent 1 game on a Rakan where he had Sejuani jungle and a very difficult bot lane to play around. This game he's on the Lulu. He has to play reactively in the team fights, and there wasn't really pressure bought because of the way that Braum plus the Cogmore works.
But I just feel like they don't make the most out of red side either. They banned that Talia. Azir still goes through as a blind. Azir is a pretty strong champion right now in its own right. Seiken's Azir is a whole nother thing. And then on the 3, where you have the chance to counter pick it, you get banned out and you pick an AD carry and you just... your bot lane doesn't even work out, even with the support counter pick going through.
I said it before game 2 started, I'll say it again here. I think they need
To count. Your bot lane doesn't even work going through. Counter pick it. Counter pick going through. Out and you pick. Going through.
I said it before.
Counter pick going through.